Greetings, everyone. The Truth Will Rise, and I'm back with a new video, as you can see. And man, I'm making this because I just had a moment of clarity a few minutes ago. We're out, hanging with the family, running around with the young fella, and I was watching him run and play. And as happy and excited as I am watching him being a dad, all that good stuff, I had a moment where I got angry. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I have to, very soon, I'll have to have a discussion about what to do when you encounter police. And that's a discussion, quite honestly and quite frankly, that other groups of people do not have to have. And before anyone comes in with, not all police officers are bad and yada, 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 I am not saying that. But I will say this. For all of the supposed good ones that are out there, if you sit back and do nothing and say nothing when there is obvious and clear wrong going on, then are you really, quote unquote, one of the good ones? Because if you're not part of the problem, or you're not part of the solution, then you're part of the problem. And as long as there is this mentality among some of the police that there's a line between the public and them, then that's part of the problem there. Then they will feel that it is their job to aid, obfuscate, deny, lie, when certain things go down. And if you got into the law enforcement or the being a peace officer in order to help, to do good, then you have to fight that wherever it is, even if it's in your own midst. And as long as the quote-unquote blue line exists, that's one of the reasons we have, the issues that we have. That's certainly not the only reason, but it's darn sure one of them. But got off on a tangent. Let me reel it back in. Anyway, I thought about that. That whether if you fight back, you get shot. If you say something they don't like, you can get shot. If you do what they ask, you can get shot. And it made me angry. And so the question then I asked myself, what do we do about it? Because protesting, marching, and praying ain't doing. They've been doing that for hundreds of years, and that's not getting anywhere. And honestly, the only way to do anything is we have to empower ourselves at all levels. And it starts economically. And I said, well, okay, what can I do as an individual to do my part, to do what I need to do? And one thing, and this is something that's picking up steam, I can put some of my money in a black bank, put my money where my mouth is. I have given money to causes and organizations, that are for the empowerment of our people, but putting our money into a black-owned bank, and I happen to reside in a town where there is one, and that is something I plan on doing. Additionally, I think that owning businesses, being business owners, creating jobs for those in our community is something that we must do. And, because it's not really stressed. In other communities, father starts a business, he passes it on to his children, they go into business with him, and they build that legacy. In so many of our households, they sit around and talk about being sports stars. And let me say this, I've said it on other videos, I'll say it again. You have a better chance of being kidnapped by aliens, winning the lottery, and finding the Loch Ness Monster in the same day than you do of playing one down, one shift, playing 1 minute one snap of professional sports. The odds are just so stacked against you. And just how they look at you as property. But that's, again, I'm getting off to a tangent. I can feel it starting to happen. Reel myself back in. But, we need to talk about, within our home, business ownership, entrepreneurship, owning what you do, economically empowering ourselves. Because that's one of the primary steps to putting a stop to some of this. Because if you have that economic system in place, then what you can do is you can exact a system of rewards and punishments for those who may not do what's in the best interest of your community. Because we don't have that as a people, quite frankly, that's why we get taken advantage of. That's why you have your president, who you love, black people, to praise so much, who has literally done nothing for the black community. And please don't argue. Don't tell me he gave you hope. Don't tell me he's got swag, whatever the hell that is. Don't tell me about how he cleaned up the mess of the previous administration. Do your research, because he helped make that mess. And please don't tell me that he is not the president of just black people. He's the president of America. Because if that's the case, when Time did that piece, I believe it was Time, and they called him the first gay president, you should have been up in arms and saying, he's not just president of gay people. But you didn't say that, because we are the most fooled, ignorant politically, economically, whatever you want to call it. They can come in every 2 and 4 years and go out there and do the Dougie, give you a little pat on the head, play the saxophone on Arsenio Hall, and you love it. And they hadn't went and said nothing about what they gonna do for us, but they give you this attention and this intangible cool. And at the end of the day, they go right back to doing what they was doing before they came in and gave you that political hand job. That's all it is. And with all the money that we have passed through our community, we should have a financial block, which would translate into a political block, so on and so forth. But we don't do that. And I said all that to get back, because I'm going off on another tangent. Sorry. But said, and getting back to myself, what can I do? That's one thing I can do. Like I said, just putting some of my money into a black bank. I don't usually mix this channel with some other ones, but I am a business owner. I do run a website, and granted, it is an entertainment-based website, but however, that's not the be-all, end-all. That is just phase 1 of my master plan. But even with that website, which I have links to in the description box, my overarching goal with that is to create jobs for our people, to pass that down to my children, to build a legacy for my family, and hopefully help others do the same. With not only that, my other business as well. So that says to me, let me step it up and ramp it up in those areas to try to do my part. And if all of us do a little, gosh, that sounds cliche though, but it's so true. If all of us do a little, we can make a lot happen. But we just have to get focused on what we need to do, because I don't ever want to be a parent that has to go in front of the news because something has happened. I don't. In terms of one of my children has had an encounter with police and they were murdered, because it will not end well. Because, I don't even want to say that. I don't even want to go into that. But if we can start to do those things, we can make improvement for those coming behind us. And that's ultimately what we need to do, and what we need to look at, and stop being, so short-sighted. I think we are a lot of the times, because I want to I want my family to look back when I am organic fodder and be able to say that, I left something for them, that they can build on moving forward, that they use to empower themselves and their progeny as well. And that's the mindset we should all have. It doesn't have to be building a Fortune 500 company, but maybe it's just leaving them with something, that they can use to build on, that we can use to strengthen our community as a whole. So that's all I got. I really didn't mean to rant on for that long, but I do hope that the 7 or 8 of you who will see this video, man, and I just hope that hopefully it helps somebody. And I'll have that information in the description box. And as always, we can discuss it in the comment section. But as always, even if we disagree, let's keep it civil. Let's keep it classy. But that being said, I'm gonna sign off. Thanks everybody for listening, because it wasn't really, can't see me. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll be back with more videos real soon. Peace and power.